It's good. I'm very separated from the party. That's what I like.
Yep.
Cards on the table. I want your lightsaber.
You're a sick man. You're a sick man.
There's a lot of pressure at the bottom of the sea.
You're gonna die here, you know.
What is that fluid in the breeding pod?
Oh Lord, I'm getting 6th grade flashbacks. I want to see what's under those bandages.
H4 just keeps rolling. I'm going home. And just keeps rolling past everybody.
Fine.
Let Granny give you a little kissy.
No.
Use tongue.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to DN Digital's Starships and Scoundrels campaign. My name is Dave, and I'll be your game master. We're using the Star Wars 5e system to tell the story of a crew of a smuggling freighter known as the Mayday, set about a year after the fall of the Jedi Order. Each session is going to be going live on Wednesdays around 3 p.m. Pacific time, so make sure to subscribe, click that bell, do all those YouTube things, and tune back in next week for more action. With all that out of the way, let's get into it.
Last time on Starships and Scoundrels, the crew of the Mayday split into groups to more quickly explore Topeka City and learned that danger could lurk around every corner. Dredd and Huntail learned that perhaps there are even threats within the city that are extraterrestrial to Kamino. The crew then reunited, started opening up to each other about some of their deepest held secrets, and proceeded further into the sunken city.
We return now to the crew of the Mayday, as you all have been journeying in through this very long, dark, unilluminated passage with these kind of clear, not glass, but like clear walls surrounding a very cylindrical tube. Looks like a big tunnel connecting the various sectors of Topeka City that are still connected. Occasionally you see some like bioluminescent fish that will swim by the outside of the glass, but they all look smaller than what you've encountered so far that has been aggressive. The walk down this hallway takes you about a half an hour before you finally get to another door or anything like it. So you're pretty deep in at this point. Is there anything that you all wanted to discuss or do during this walk? Or do we want to just jump right to you guys, well, at least when the keenest eyed amongst you first notices the door?
Who are the
My
keenest
perception
eyes?
so bad.
Ooh,
Well,
definitely
not
wouldn't
Granny,
be
because,
me.
you know,
Passive
Are you
perception
sure?
is Not great.
Her passive perception's pretty good.
yeah, but but by that definition of keenest eyed, keenest perception, yes,
perception.
but no, yeah, Granny would be the first to notice, so.
Nice.
All right, cool. So if nothing that you guys want, just gonna walk in an awkward silence through for a half hour together through the darkness.
Oh. If it's just going to be awkward silence, I'm just going to start talking randomly. Starting with Alo. Randomly with the letter A.
Yeah, what's up, Hunk?
So, Alo,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about this whole place?
I think it's not bad. I'd like to get back to the surface as soon as possible. So,
Hey, I was born here, you know.
no, nothing. You know, I'm not proud of it. I'm from either Dredd, so you know, don't take that to heart. I'm sure it was a great place back when it was back up on the surface. Just, you know, I don't think it really belongs here on the bottom of the ocean. Speaking of which, I don't know if I've asked this yet, but what exactly is it that we're looking for? So I think we'd be a lot more effective.
You have definitely asked this before.
You actually asked it like 2 seconds ago. We're looking for information with regards to
There was the
the
joke, Hunk. Thank you.
circumstances surrounding Martin Huntail's birth. And
So just information. So like just any terminal or.
well, I don't think they would just put it on any terminal. Seems like something they were trying to keep a secret even here, from what it seems like. I mean, I've never heard of it.
So look for the room with the heaviest lock on it, and fingers crossed we found what we're looking for.
You don't know Kaminoans very well, do you?
Not at all, and this city's under the ground, so don't think I met them either.
You've never met one? Are you a Kamino?
Are you Kamino?
No.
Am I Kamino?
Well, apparently you were born here, so...
Yes, I'm
what
Kamino.
qualifies you as... Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
What qualifies you? You were born here.
Exactly. Technically, I guess that does make him one.
How much memory do you have of this place?
Lord Ixonu, last son of Kamino. It's got a nice ring to it.
Don't. I
Too bad I
wouldn't.
can't use my real name anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought that name was kind of a no-go.
You should go by Drocox on you. No one will ever know.
So that's like a surname. That's like actually a name. I've been meaning to ask you about that. Like,
Yeah,
It's
my
like
first name's Drod and my last name's Ixonu. It's a long-running
May I
family
ask-
name.
it's a very proud name. I think it's
Great heritage, mind you.
clearly
Long line of farmers. Which doesn't make a lot of sense on a mining world, but hey.
So you're from here.
I can't believe I'm
Do you
using
know mine here?
I can't believe I'm using
Also,
memory
what-
on this.
If you were born here, does that make you a clone? In that case, wouldn't that be somebody else who named you without a surname? So somebody intentionally named you, draw dicks on you.
Well, I think that's what
Both
we're
of
gonna
my
find.
parents-
I think we're partially here to figure that out, so...
Both of my parents who weren't my parents, it turns out, were named Ixonu. So,
So they adopted you?
I guess.
Well, if we find the thing that we're looking for down here, I hope it gives us some answers, 'cause this is...
Look, all I know is I was given a name. I didn't just go running around taking people's last names. It's like incredibly rude. Alright, it's my name. I earned it by being born, and then somebody with that name said I want them to be my child, apparently.
But then
And so
you
there's
took
consent.
a different name.
Well, yeah, but
Yes, it is true.
You kind of had to do that.
I don't think this is good.
it was out
line
of
of thinking.
necessity, and it's not like I took it from
Wait.
anyone else. I made it myself.
Let's
So,
let's stay focused.
wait,
Yeah.
I just one more point of idea. If you were adopted and your parents did not tell you much about this, why are we down here? Why didn't we just go ask them?
Because they're dead.
It seems like you did not ask. Oh, that makes more sense.
would
then.
do
Been
it.
dead
Yeah.
a long time. Otherwise, yeah. No, I would have flown right over. Probably.
My condolences.
That would have been different.
So, quick question for the two droids. Do either of you have like long-range scanners? Just a way to try to see what's in front of us.
Not that advanced. I mean, I could probably try to pull up a map of the place, but that's about it.
I do have a long-range scanner. In that I can run forward and scan and then run back.
Oh, well that... Yeah, I could technically do that too, but I thought you were
Okay.
talking more like...
Think outside the box.
I was not actually. I was thinking very
I
much
was
inside the box.
thinking in the box that doesn't
I was-
potentially put me in danger.
I was not thinking outside.
All right,
the
why
box.
don't we have a competition? The two of you run as far as you can run in like, say, 6 seconds. And you do your long-range scanner, and you come back, and we'll see who's worth more.
Okay. I am down for this.
Sure.
I regret this. I regret everything.
So we're doing
I
a
have
good
a-
old-fashioned droid race.
I have a sneaking suspicion of who's gonna win, but yeah, let's give it a
Droid
shot.
race.
My money's
2
on
to 1
it.
odds on Hunk.
At least this way, when we find the tripwires or whatever hazards are in front of us, we'll be able to avoid them.
Alo starts smoking a death stick.
You
God, I
try.
wish I
It's still
could.
wet.
Fuck.
It's still wet.
It's been half an hour since you had your last drag. You should be fine.
Weren't we right next to an air bubble? Am I remembering that correctly? That there was like a big pit with an air bubble?
The last room that you were in was it had like an opening in the floor that opened up into the ocean, but the air inside with kind of the dome shape of the room was trapping the air inside and not letting the water fill it.
Wonderful. Are we
But
in...
you also do still see like random parts where salt has kind of crusted onto the walls where the ocean water dried and kind of ran off and left its lingering effects behind.
Gives me some hope. But where it's dry here. It's not like knee deep water or anything.
I mean, kind of everywhere you go, there's like maybe a little bit of water on the floor.
Okay.
Like you occasionally step in like a little puddle or something, but for the most part, this entire tunnel actually seems to have been mostly spared from the damage when the city sunk.
Okay, all right. So let's go to the door and see what's on the other side. I think that's a good.
No, we were going to let the
droids
droids scan it.
I still say it was
Doing
a
the
droid
droid
race.
race.
Dave, I want to ask you a question privately. Should I just message it to you, or?
Okay, everybody else just deafen yourself for a moment, please.
Darn, I was going to banter while you guys were in a private room.
We'll do the hand
You can
wave.
still banter. It'll catch up on your end.
Yeah, we got to keep it recorded for Craig and all that, so.
Well, how are we going to talk? How are we going to hear each other to banter?
Well, that's your problem.
It's a one-sided banter.
Paul, everybody else is dead. There we go. Okay, yes. Question away.
H4 wants to throw this race because he doesn't think R5 has much going for him. Is there a way for me to fudge my initiative so that I'm behind him? Or I don't know how we're going to start this, but...
I mean, there is a fudge option under the advanced dice roller, but I think it shows up saying DF. So I'll just have you guys whisper the rolls to me.
Okay, and then I'm going to let him go first and then let him, move action dash bonus action dash, and I'm just going to do a regular movement.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll leave that up to you. So, all right, cool. Everybody, you can come back now. You can undeafen. Look at this.
All right, there we go. Wonderful. Okay. All right, let's get this.
But Jackie. There we go. Okay. So, droid race time. I'm actually going to have both of you guys whisper your rolls to me as basically give me an initiative roll. So just, D20 plus your dex, but whisper it to me, please. So whisper. Only I may.
My money's on Hunk.
Oh yeah, are we taking bets? The two racers cannot bet, but are we taking bets?
Oh yeah, I'm taking bet. A gambling fiend.
I don't think I have any money, so...
That's never stopped anyone before. You just bet the money you don't have, and then you owe somebody money, and then, you eventually, hopefully, find the money to pay him off.
You do hear Harry at that point. Just be like, Harry's just like, hey, how much are you betting, and who are you betting on?
I think that...
Not talking to you, Alo. Drod. Who are you betting on?
Betting on the ball.
Yeah, I'll take that action.
Perfect.
Anyone else in? Nah.
Yeah, my money's on Hunk. And she's going to try to sneakily cast a burst of speed on Hunk.
Well, actually, give me a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. 21.
Holy.
Oh yeah, no. Everybody just looks like Granny's just being very supportive and standing behind her horse in the race.
All right, Alo. You got a bit on the other one. That's how this works. It's called the big blind.
No, I don't think that's how betting works.
Yes, no, that's definitely how it works. Because if no one bets on that, then everybody just wins and we all get to keep our money. Somebody's got a bet on the dark horse.
I'm betting on R5.
Exactly.
Oh.
You realize what you're up.
Are you really going to leave your best friend, Harry Johnson, in your butt hanging?
I thought we just talked about this. I was your best friend.
Don't look what you did.
It's one of the many things we didn't bring up about that room.
Let's just say you're all my best friend, and let's just get this race underway.
Cards on the table. I want your lightsaber.
Oh.
I don't
know how to use it.
I don't think.
But
I don't think this is a good idea.
It looks right intimidating.
I don't think this is going to
He
end
could not
well.
lose any more limbs than he already has, so...
I am.
Sure.
It's easy. All you do is push the button and you swing it around.
And if you win this, it has and credits split between you and Harry.
Wasn't this supposed to be a scouting mission? When did we get so wrapped up in this being a race?
I don't know.
Quiet, the people are talking.
Droid, race, droid, race, droid, race.
Shh, the organics are talking.
Yeah, so you see Huntail's just like over on the side, just looking around, just absolutely flabbergasted at what's going on right now. Okay, so how much is actually being bet again, just to be clear?
1,000 on the ball.
Okay, so 1,000's the bet. What, or 1,000's the bet to be involved? So Granny, you're putting in your 1,000 on it, or?
Well, her inventory consists of a simple robe. So
Yes, that is true.
if you want Granny's robe,
Please don't bet the rope.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I'll tell you what is worth 1,000 credits to me. I want to see what's under those bandages.
Oh, deal! Droid race!
Okay, I'm sure Harry will match the 1,000 credit bet.
I'm pretty sure.
Matt.
Harry would be more inclined to bet on Honk, but
It's fine. I'll make it up to Kirby if he really didn't want to bet on R5.
I'm sure he'll be furious.
So, Matt, I guess just say the thing out loud then, as you sit down next to Huntail.
So I have to like verbally find out. I can't pick
I mean,
up
I'm just not
anything.
going to unprompt it. I'm just saying, just say it out loud rather than me going with a private message. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So, Alo isn't sure how he would do this. He's just, I guess he would just, does he, maybe with his peripheral, he would give her maybe a deeper, like, inspection. Does he see anything that would betray?
Give me an insight check.
Checking her out.
Insight. I mean, that too, but damn it. Oh, that sucks. Okay.
You got fate points.
I'm gonna use one just because if it hadn't been a 1, which would probably make this awkward. So I'm gonna use a fate point, and it can't possibly be worse than that.
I mean, no, by definition cannot be.
The
worse
natural
than
one
that,
was
yeah.
It cannot be.
Natural one was perfect.
Oh, so close to the 20. So total.
Did we?
Total's 9. So I'll just take the.
Okay.
I'll just take the.
Yeah,
fail.
I would say that you are fairly confident she hasn't exhibited any like force sensitivity in the time you've known her, at least.
Okay.
And you've seen Granny pretty explicitly utilize force powers at this point, and you've got other people in the group who've been very actively looking for force-powered people, and nobody else has really reacted to her in that way.
Was Alo being stealthy in his insight, or at the very least trying to not be seen staring at
I would say,
Huntail?
I would say, yeah, go at it. I guess, yeah. Is that, Matt, were you trying to be discreet about it?
I was trying to be discreet. So I'm gonna do stealth.
Okay,
stealth?
give me a stealth check, yeah.
as with many things in this game, emphasis on trying.
Okay, that's better.
that's
That's an
good.
8. That's an 18.
Yeah,
better.
nobody, especially amongst all the conversation about the race and betting and all that, nobody seems to be paying attention.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And with that, it is time for the race. In the roll-off for the initiative, believe it or not, R5 actually won. So basically, we're just going to do like single round.
You son of a bitch.
So basically, just like
Son of.
you're going to get like one turn
my.
where you get to use some kind of feature that you may have.
What did
If you
you
have anything
roll?
in mind, what are you doing to boost your speed?
Okay.
I know of at least 2 things you can do, but beyond that, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Do you not have? I have a bad feeling about this.
Never mind that. Maybe that gives
I-
3 things.
Yep. Yeah, I would like to use. I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay.
Yep.
So you get a
Would
little
allow
jump
me to-
start.
Yep. So that is 30 feet of movement right off the bat.
Nice.
And then, action, move another 60 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not action. Move another 30 feet up, and then
Mm-hmm.
up to 60 feet, and then use my action to percept the area to see if there's anything hidden, any traps, or anything of interest.
If you're trying to race, you definitely don't have time to look for traps well.
Okay.
You could roll a perception check at disadvantage, but even at best, you're only gonna maybe see really obvious stuff
To
I see.
because you
To
also
be
don't
very
have dark
clear,
vision. So
My initial terms were that they run out as fast as they can in 6 seconds, scan the area, and then come back.
That's
Nah,
fair.
it's
This
changed.
is within the realm of a single turn. So
Well, I'll take the disadvantage. What kind of check would that be?
perception.
Oh dear God, that's a 4.
You don't notice any kind of traps. Looks like a hallway. It's also really dark, and you don't have dark vision. So, but you don't trip over anything. You're able to run smoothly. No problems are encountered.
All right, bonus action dash the 30 feet back.
Yeah, you're still 30 feet away, I guess, coming back.
Yep.
So then, H4, what are you doing in terms of the race?
H4 does not have fancy movement like R5, so he's going to move his 50 feet up, and all he's got is his action to percept from there.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Come on, 14. Slightly better.
You also don't see any traps or anything. Looks like this tunnel's held up pretty well. The whole hallway is actually empty, and you see a big kind of bulk door, pretty close in front of you.
Big. Okay. Pretty. How far is pretty close? Like
Another 30 feet.
another 30 feet.
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
were most of the way to the end of the hallway when this happened.
Okay. How dumb would it be to use key points right now? Pretty dumb, so I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use the key point to go bonus action dash. I'm going to go the 30 feet to the door. Just tap it like a swimmer and then come back.
All right, you do that. All right, and that's it, I assume? Yeah, action, movement, bonus.
Yes, that means I'm another 20 feet, so it means I'm...
Did you include your
30?
extra 10 feet you had in that last dash?
I did. I did.
Okay.
I did.
So-
Unfortunately, I'm such a small droid that my initial starting speed is like 25 because of halfling, and then the monk speed extra.
Yep.
So yeah, total.
So yeah, you're actually still a little bit behind R5. So R5, you're 30 feet away from getting back to the rest of the group. Are you just going to dash the rest of the way back?
Well, I mean, is there anything I could do to try to percept this hallway as I'm moving? I can use my movement to get 30 feet.
I mean, you already checked the hallway with your roll. So
All right. Yeah, I'll just roll onto the finish line.
yeah, and at that point, R5 is first back across the finish line.
Wow.
H4 just keeps rolling. I'm going home, and just keeps rolling past everybody.
Rolls past off into the darkness. Just hear the sound of just like metal going.
Hey, wait. If we want to scout back this hallway, we are gonna need you, Hunk.
It is not my name.
H4. Is there something else you prefer to be called, or?
It is fine. And I roll back.
Back, Hanky.
It is okay.
Wow.
So
R5.
do I get?
You won span square.
Dread, you see like just this big old Wookiee just like towering over you, giant grin forming out of his muzzle.
So do I get a cut of all this betting money, or?
Credits into his hand, and then he perks up. Oh, wait, that means I get to see what's under Granny's bandages.
Get to see.
You're a sick man. You're a sick man.
First the race thing, now this. What has gotten into the party this week?
I got a feeling that you want to know if there's eyes under there or if they're just vacant eye holes.
Do you not?
Not really.
I don't feel like I need to.
I'd like to sleep tonight.
All right, Granny, let's see it. You lost fair and square.
All right. I don't even know how an astromech is moving so fast underwater anyway, but sure, fine.
And she flips up her blindfold, and they are in fact just empty eye sockets. No sign of any damage or anything, just empty eye
Gone.
sockets.
Fascinating.
Loose eyelids.
You know, that's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
What
I
question?
just like the.
Are there eyelids hanging there? I guess. I don't believe that there are eyelids. It's just kind of empty sockets.
I'm actually more comforted by that. Loose eyelids is just not a This is not a series of words that I like. I just don't like it.
It's not
Planting
pleasant.
in the breeze.
No.
Yep, that's what it appears to be.
Out yourself? Somebody else did it to you?
Oh no, all of my kind are born this way.
Fascinating.
Yes, we learn to use other senses to understand our environment. And
But as
over
a whole
the millennia,
form,
we just lost our eyes because we weren't using them.
But why wouldn't it, evolve the skin around? It's just a hole.
The term is vestigial.
Vestigial. Got it. I'll be sure to remember that.
So now that we're done trying to perceive things in a terrible way, Granny's gonna actually go try to check out and see if there's anything dangerous around.
Okay, I'll just tell you, there's nothing dangerous in the hallway at this point.
There's a big door down there. I touched it first. Does that get me anything? Like a trophy or
How about
high
this?
five or...
Andrade will walk up to him and pat him on the dome. And they'll say, "Attaboy."
Robo fist bump.
Anything else? Or...
Yeah, do we get any money?
No,
from
that's
this?
good.
Or are you
That
just
is good.
betting for yourselves?
No, we don't. Yeah, they don't bet for our benefit. Otherwise, we could throw the race, and that would be an unfair contest.
He'll lean into R5. I mean, I didn't want to throw it, but if you had lost, I would have probably given you F. And he just walks away.
Wait, but what about now?
You didn't.
I lost. Can I get half? Actually, I don't want money. I do not care for money.
I'll take the money if you want to give it to him. If he doesn't want it.
Yeah, you can have my money R5 if you'd like.
You realize this is going straight into the ship.
I give you 1,100 credits, and that's literally it.
Yes.
And then I switch to the language only only Matt can speak, and I go, "You better spend it well."
Halo shivers slightly. All right, so if this is all done, do we want to try to get back to the reason we're down here in the first place?
Yeah, it's I was kind of focused on the race. I couldn't see much in that hallway, but it seems clear, and everything past that was too dark for me to really see.
The race was important.
I didn't expect to get caught up in it as I was. I kind of surprised at how.
It is easy to get caught up in races.
So Granny's at the door then?
I believe, yeah, right? Jackie, Granny kind of went off ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
Well, just was
Okay.
like, I'm done talking about this now. I'm going to go check the door.
Halo will
yeah,
to
so
percept.
Halo will
yeah,
join.
Granny, initially it seemed like, you're like, oh no, the woman who doesn't have eyes that we now very definitively know she doesn't have eyes is wandering off into the darkness. Oh, she's fine. She knows exactly where she's going. Seems very confident of where she's stepping, and
I will when Halo will kind of move ahead of the group and go up to her and say,
yeah, it's the two of you kind of up in front of everyone at this point.
Granny, can I ask you something?
Of course, what is it?
What do you see when you look at me?
What do I see when I look at you?
You see, I take it we're going off of like Knights of the Old Republic coloring, like red and blue for energy?
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and also the brightness shows how strong your connection to the Force is.
You see, okay, so you see a bright, it's a mixture of gray and red. It's like undecided. There's red in there, but there's also a bit of gray clouds kind of misting.
Kind of
it up
orange.
too. Kind of orange, yeah.
But you do see at least the outline and like the shape. You can see like the shape of his face coming through the light. You just don't know what color.
So kind of like Daredevil?
People who look at the... Sure.
Except instead of sound, it's the Force.
It's like, when
Right.
Daredevil had that like...
world on fire!
I regret this.
when Daredevil had that weird like yellow and maroon costume? It's kind of that.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
But yeah, otherwise you see at least the shape, at least all the shaping of everything of him pretty clearly.
I sense there is some turmoil in you. The darkness has not fully claimed you. It is up to you which path you want to go down.
All right, thank you. And you can see he's trying to keep your voice down. All right, thank you. Is there a panel or some way of opening the door?
Yeah, there's just like a regular control panel off on one side. So yeah, Alo, you get up there. You see a control panel. It's powered. Pretty standard, open, close.
I will. I'll
enter security clearance kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll activate it just to open the door.
Yeah. So it takes a moment, but you hear the door start to kind of grind. Hasn't been opened for a while, but yeah, the door. It's like this big kind of maybe 10 foot tall, 20 foot wide panel that just begins to kind of scratch and stretch its way open into a dimly lit room. It's kind of like when you leave a device on for a while and the screen goes to like half brightness. It kind of has that level of brightness inside. There you go. So yeah, you guys are coming in down on this hallway over here, and the door opens up. And as you start to look into this room, you see just this huge, almost cavernous space open all around you in this big circular room. There are these three mostly cylindrical shapes in the middle of the room that are a bunch of kind of bluish glass pod shaped things, kind of all in these big stacks connected to like an interior arm going up. And there are stairs that go down into the middle of the room, so it's just trying to make as much of this vertical space as possible. A bunch of little control panels down below. And then off to the south side of the room, your character doesn't know it's south, but whatever, it makes it easier for us. South side, you see what looks like probably some kind of control room raised up about 15 feet off of the level that you're at. And then a bunch of various other control panels, surfaces, a few crates around here and there, stuff like that. But otherwise, it seems the primary focus is this central system of the room.
Just to clarify, these are they railings or it's just a drop
those
down?
They are railings. They're about waist high. It's got like an open bottom and then maybe a 1.5 foot tall like panel that kind of runs along the top of it.
And the drop, how deep is it?
It's 10 feet down. Yeah, the room extends up above you currently about 40 feet into like a giant dome. So I guess bottom to top, it's a 50-foot tall room. You also see basically directly across way over there, a door. You see a door over here, and you see a door over here, and you see a hint of a door over there.
Right. Alo's
but otherwise, it's just a big room.
All right, I will step in fully.
All right.
Don't go in alone.
You step in. Nothing reacts to your presence, at least.
It's
quiet. The cavernous, you start, like every footfall kind of echoes throughout the room as you walk in, unless you wanted to try to be quiet. But at least your first step, it's just a lot of hard surfaces. There's nothing to really kind of deaden the noise.
Got it. Giving a quick survey of the room, can I see signs that anyone else has been here?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 14.
All right, yeah. For the most part, it looks like this room was fairly untouched. There are a few things that do seem to indicate maybe there's been some amount of activity in here. For the most part, there are, like I'd mentioned, there are a couple crates here and there that are like fastened into the walls as storage containers. And you do see that one of them that's off to your left was left opened. And then there's also one down way over here on the far side. You can see it's very clearly the lid has just been left completely open. I mean, it's all hard surfaces. There isn't really anything else at the moment to indicate activity.
Really quick. Just and then this will like finish my turn. Can I go look? You said there's a crate somewhere near me that's open, like over here somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's open.
Yep, it's just open.
I would like to just go look in it.
All right, yeah. You walk over, you look inside. You see just kind of a variety of tools, things that look like they were meant for servicing whatever this system of like this 3-column system in the room is. Doesn't look like You can see clearly spots where like the tools were meant to be like mounted into it for organizational purposes. Looks like about half of them have been kind of like tossed around, like somebody was sifting through it at some point. But
Okay.
without actually going through and reorganizing it, you wouldn't be able to know if anything's missing or not.
Okay.
If Ilo is going to stop pushing ahead, I'm going to try and catch up with him. Apparently I'm the slowest member of the party, but I will try and get up there.
Yeah, you can definitely keep up with him as he walks in. No problem.
Halo looks over, says, "Oh, hey there, second place."
Hello there, Ilo. Did you think that we were done with your force monitoring? Why would you move ahead when I know you are so very weak right now?
Halo shuts up.
You are not meant to be taking pain right now. Please, leave that to me.
As you wish.
It's entirely based in him seeing you get the shit kicked out of you, and you're still trying to be, like, right up in front.
Oh dear, did Jonathan get hurt?
Oh, now she's gonna
Granny's
worry.
gonna come up.
Yes, your grandson's had a bit of an ouchie.
No ouchies. I'm fine.
Let Granny give you a little kissy.
No.
Let her give you a kissy.
He just-
It is
Right
Halo
on the
just-
boom boom.
Halo just keeps picturing two empty eye
Use
sockets.
tongue.
And
that can be.
That's like way in the back. Our force is in the hallway. What the hell? Why would you?
Oh, Five, why would you say that? You made it weird.
Roll for damage. Roll for emotional damage. Oh god.
You can't handle emotional damage right now. Emotional damage will kill you.
That's true. I have. Still double digits technically.
so yeah, Granny's gonna cast a heal as she gives you a kissy at a fourth level.
Or D8 plus 4.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Ooh, that's ooh.
22 health.
Wow. That's
That was
almost
a solid roll.
That's a very solid roll. I think that literally puts me back at. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Jackie.
Where does it put you at?
Thank you.
Well, you can do the math. You know how many hit points he has. Or had.
Yes, but if you hit max at some point, then
Here we are.
just trying to get Matt to reveal more information than he wants to.
Fool me
always
once.
fun.
Fool me once. I don't know the rest.
So
of the
yeah.
thing. All right.
So
Can't
they
get fooled again.
So they've moved in, and Granny started healing H4s, saying cryptic things in a language that only Alo speaks. What are the rest of you doing while they have been doing all that?
Am proudly holding up the rear. Well, not quite the rear
Alright.
yet, but it will be.
Yeah, I'll head up at least about 10 feet away from the rest of the party.
Can I recommend that going forward we should sneakily approach this? If you want to call it something, we should call it a dungeon. Maybe we should go forward sneakily.
Sure. That's
Right.
actually a good idea, Hunk.
I was born here, you know.
You're gonna die here, you know.
You're probably right, but, you know, it's still a little offensive.
I think you were born in the same way me and R5 were born. Was there birth involved? I don't think so.
Alright, I don't like talking about this anymore.
I would like to examine the giant. Dave, you said they're glass. They're the glass
Yeah.
structures.
Yeah, it's a series of glass kind of tubes that have like rounded ends on either side, cylinders that are
Okay. So just at a quick,
each one's about 7 feet tall or so.
just at a quick glance, I don't know what they are.
4 feet
right?
wide. At a glance, I don't think Alo would have encountered anything like this before.
Ayla would like to sneakily.
So yeah, I guess at this point, anybody who is going to be stealthing, let's get a stealth check from.
Yeah.
Speak now,
that.
forever hold your peace
I'm
on that
gonna-
stealth. By the way, so
Speaking.
I'm gonna take a.
Oops.
I'm gonna take a fate point on
I'm
this.
still at disadvantage, but the left
Okay.
one is 24.
Okay,
Making a
that's
fate.
a 27.
9.
And again, just saying it for everybody, taking a fate point for my stealth check.
roll at advantage.
15.
You start trying to sneak your way on in towards. Are you trying to get up close to them to check them out, or?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll go up to the railing. Or actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you get up close to the railing, you get a better view looking down at the floor. And you see that going for one thing, you see that there are pathways that lead in towards the middle of these kind of clusters of pods. And then at the bottom, like in between each vertical row of these pods, you see a little control surface that has like some little buttons and stuff that seem to be involved with keeping all that, and then a screen kind of on top of each. You don't see anything inside of these tubes, but you do see, now that you get a little closer, that most of them are filled with some kind of fluid that goes most of the way up to the top with like a little air bubble. And actually, as you get this close, you can see that each of them has an opening on the backside that it looks like a door or something, and some various hoses that lead out of them and connect into like a central system that goes through everything.
I look at Dread and Huntail. Any of this looking familiar?
I will tiptoe into the room, but because my toes are metal, they will clank loudly.
Clink, clink, clink,
Clink,
clink.
clink, clink, clink.
It's like you're basically wearing tap shoes everywhere you go.
Oof.
Yeah.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
That's how Dread stealths. He just is like tap dancing to like putting on the Ritz everywhere he goes.
Oh lord, I'm getting 6th grade flashbacks.
Dread a stare, anybody?
Harry over.
Very nice.
Come on, it was.
You get an inspiration in my game. You get an inspiration. No, that was so good.
Come on.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good.
You get an inspiration.
Oh.
You get an inspiration in my game, buddy.
You hear as you move forward, Harry just goes, "Put it on the Ritz." So yeah, you go and you walk up. I guess give me an intelligence check if you got a skill you think is relevant.
Lore.
Lore, yes, and guidance, yes. So yeah, Granny, I think you have to follow along with him then, just so we're clear of where people are moving.
Stay close to me, Granny. Hold my hand.
Don't worry, the blind woman will guide you.
Yeah, and you can add a d6 to that then. So, if you want, see just how good it gets.
26.
You have at some point in your life encountered various types of like breeding pods. Basically, these are the biggest breeding pods you've ever seen, but they look like breeding pods.
What is that fluid in the breeding
They're
pod?
making something very big, or a lot of regular sized somethings in those tanks.
I guess just by looking, you would guess it's almost more of just like a saline solution than anything
Thank
too
God.
much. But there would probably, it gets mostly clear, but you'd figure there, at least if it was being regularly stocked, it'd have some kind of like nutrients basically that were added in for whatever is growing inside to, seep in through their skin and all that kind of stuff to help them grow and all that.
And just from my perspective, is it too dark to see in here, or is there light available?
This room is dimly lit, but it's a consistent dimness where you can see across. It's just not bright.
I see. Yep. Just making sure.
So, real quick, H4 moved quite a ways down over there, it looks like.
Yes, he wanted to use the full extent of his speed to get over to whatever this area is, because it seems to stand out from the rest.
Yeah, so that's the part where it goes up about 15 feet, extending out of the wall, and you can see that there is a window up at the top. You figure it's some kind of, control observation room type thing up there. There are you passed by a door over on this side of it.
Oh, on this side? Okay.
Yeah, a door on this side. The bottom of the window is 10 feet up, and then it extends for like another 5-6 feet above that.
I'm gonna go ahead and go up to one of the tanks, get a look down below, see how far down or up it goes.
So when you actually walk just to the edge of the bottom of the stairs right there, you do hear you hear the sound of a blaster being drawn from a holster, and you feel somebody kind of like sneak up behind you and holding a blaster up to the side of your head. All right, freeze. Who are you and what are you doing here?
There's 2 dreads.
And everybody hears it, but they're down below. I guess, Alo, you finally see this guy jump out from the underneath the stairs right there. It's about, medium height, kind of a darkish tan skin tone, dark hair, cropped pretty short on top. Seems like he's wearing kind of like a thin jumpsuit that you'd wear underneath some other kind of gear.
Easy there, buddy. Easy. This is a consular ship. We're on a diplomatic mission from Old. Wait, that's the wrong line.
Right, you're not fooling me, boys. And at that point, you do hear kind of coming out from a few different areas, like popping out from behind crates. You see four very similar looking men pop up, all holding blaster rifles. One of them's got like a big old mobile turret that he has pointed at all of you guys collectively.
All right.
Did we just run into the Bad Batch?
Time to start talking.
We're just here looking for information. We're not here to take any of your treasure.
What kind of information?
Information that would only be good to some in our party here.
Tell you the truth, we're as much in the dark about this as you are.
Don't appreciate the vagaries, intruder. Speak plainly.
I look at Dredd.
Oh, they have
You
guns
wouldn't.
too. Okay.
Dread's gonna go ahead and risk slowly turning around to face this guy.
Yeah. As you start turning to look around, you see a man who's pretty grizzled. Probably, if you were to guess, you'd guess he's probably in his late 40s, early 50s, starting to get grays coming in everywhere. He's got stubble, kind of just all over his face, but looks like he's somewhat trying to maintain.
You wouldn't shoot your own family, would you?
Give me a persuasion check.
Would it be possible to sneak up on them while this is happening?
14. I'm gonna use a fate point.
You'd have to give me another stealth check over there, but first let's deal with the fate point for
sure.
Re-rolling that 14.
Lower. Yes.
It's worse.
Wow.
So much
What?
worse.
What?
It's a 6.
Okay. As you say that, you see him very much start to tense up. But before he acts, give me that stealth roll, H4.
15.
Okay. Where are you trying to sneak up to in particular?
Because I don't see them on the map. I don't necessarily know where they are.
Like, are you trying to get close to them? Are you trying to hide from them? Like, what's the?
I'm trying to get close to them.
Yeah, there's one. There's
closer.
one that popped up over here that you could very much kind of roll your way. They don't seem to be paying attention to you. They're very much focused on, the other members of the party who have started to make their way inside. Which actually Huntail should be about there.
It's good. I'm very separated from the party. That's what I like.
Yep. So what are you doing now that you snuck over?
If he does not appear to act against me, I will just sit here with a stun panel ready to try and pop him. If he were to fire at somebody,
man.
If he were to fire, not as of yet, they have not done anything against us. But the defibrillators are charging up right now. Just going, clear.
Exactly. So Dredd, as you're turning around, you feel a binder being slapped onto your wrist by his other hand as he lets go of your shoulder, keeping one hand on the pistol, but slaps on. It's like, all right, put it on the other one. Waiting for you to finish putting the binder on yourself.
Dredd's gonna look over the trooper's shoulder to Huntail and just kind of look for the go, I guess.
She does see what's going on down there, and she will step forward and just be like, all right, hold on. I'm sure there's something that we can discuss here. And actually at that point, coming out of this door right over here, you do all see a very a tall, extremely slender, almost white skin Kaminoan step out in a just like long kind of flowing outfit, just saying like, yes, please everyone, lower your weapons. I do recognize this one at least. It is good to see you, Subject 16. Glad to know that things have turned out well for you. And then Huntail looks kind of confused. What are the rest of you doing?
Wait, who was she? Who's this Kamino nodding to?
Who was that? No, that was
it was Huntail, I'm pretty sure.
Huntail and Dread, yeah.
Alo's kind of in the way. I guess Alo could interpret it as being looked at.
Yeah.
But she is very much looking at Huntail as she says it.
Do I? But I'm... it's not... Is it clear that the... For lack of a better term, the pirates, are they with the Kaminoan or not?
None of them have turned their guns on her.
I'm sorry, are you two acquainted? I thought you'd never been here before.
No, I don't believe that I've had the pleasure. And then the Kaminoan's like, oh, yes, apologies. You were not quite at the level of comprehension yet at the last time I would have seen you. Please. And she gestures towards all of the four men in the room, and they all start lowering their blasters and kind of like shouldering them and stuff. And then the one guy that had you, Dread, is like, all right, fine. Just no fast movements, okay? And he'll take the binder back off of your wrist. And he'll walk around back up towards where everybody else is. Apologies for the aggressive introduction. I did not recognize any of you, except for one of the final ones to enter the room. What does bring you all here?
We're looking for answers.
You might find them. Depends on the questions that you bring.
He's gonna look at Huntail, just like permission to keep going, I guess.
Yeah, she'll just kind of be like, give you kind of a nod.
You said Subject 16. So there were at least 15 others?
That is correct.
What's your deal with this whole... How do you know her?
I'm afraid I don't recognize you or any of the rest of you. Who are you and why have you come here? 'Tis quite the long perilous journey to the bottom of the ocean.
She told us to do it.
I'm sorry, your droid keeps beeping and whirring, but I don't... Could any of you translate for me? I don't speak whatever binary he...
No.
He's just being a little twit. How long have you been down here?
Ever since the city sunk, I suppose. But again, who are all of you?
Well, there's two of us here.
You've intruded on my home. It is only proper that you introduce yourself.
You're absolutely right. My apologies. My name's Alo. Me and my group came down here because two of us here claimed that they were born or they were made here. And we were hoping that we could get some clarification on that. So actually,
two of you? Are there more back in the hallway where you came from? I don't believe any of our programs would have produced any of the rest of you, from what I can tell.
I kind of
Dread's
look at
gonna
Dread.
hesitate for a moment and then curse under his breath. Slowly pull the hood back and detach the part of the mask that can be removed.
So what is it? What do we see?
Ain't pretty. A lot of burns. Burn scars at this point. The facial markings somehow survived. So you see around the top of his face, there are these curves that spread up from the temples, go around the eye, the part of the forehead over the eyes, and then conjoin in the middle in a somewhat bulbous shaft.
She does, her very long neck does a big kind of giant curve as she kind of like cocks her head to one side.
All right. bulbous shaft?
Yeah, you know, like a dick.
On your face.
Are you asking in character, or you've seen?
I'm just asking for the viewers at home who may not quite understand what you're talking about.
It is a tattoo that forms into a penis hanging down directly over his nose. That is his unfortunate lot in life.
So someone drew a dick on your face.
No, he was born with a dick on his face.
And then he got adopted by people whose last name was Draw Dicks on You.
No. He was adopted by people whose last name was Ix on You, and they named him Drod.
Yes, to be clear.
It was incredibly convoluted, but
how convenient.
We got it. We got there, folks.
It's only 2 campaigns deep, and we finally got that. By the way,
he had it the whole time in the first campaign. Just it was forgotten immediately by everybody else. But
there was a lot going on that first campaign.
There were a lot of other
also,
things
I don't
happening.
think H4 cannot see you at all right now.
No.
He's just whispering. He's like right next to this clone, just going, "They're having a scene. Let them have it. Don't talk."
Oh gosh. So this Kaminoan walks over towards you, just very intrigued, and she has to lean down to kind of look closer at you. Number 18. You have fared far poorer than 16 did, it would seem. And she kind of straightens back up. It's like, please, I'm sure there's somewhere more comfortable where we could speak. And she'll gesture back towards the kind of control room that she exited from. Some of you look quite a bit worse for wear than when you first arrived. I hope, at least.
No, we didn't have too much trouble. Is it just you? And there's 5 of them, right?
Yeah, there's 4. They're clones. There are 4 clones and 1 Kaminoan.
So it's just the 5 of you down here?
As far as we are aware, yes. Well, as I said, perhaps there's more we can discuss in a more comfortable place. But any of you who are injured, we do have some facilities still up and running if you desire some form of treatment, at least. Very much looking at Harry in particular, who some of those wounds have started to bleed a little bit again over time.
Would like to quickly just once over. Does this look like a healthy Kaminoan?
Medicine check, I guess?
Yeah. I know I'm not good at it.
What's a Kaminoan with scurvy look like?
I gotta know. 16.
You're not really familiar with what a healthy or a not healthy one would look like. To your understanding, look like doing fine. The clones look maybe a little on the gaunt side. Looks like they clearly haven't been eating a lot, but they all seem to be surviving.
He will hesitantly follow.
Of course, right this way. And anybody who wants to follow, lead you into that kind of control room. There's a lift that will take you up, and you can see there are kind of various seats all spread around up here with a big control panel in the front. Out in the kind of window facing out over the entire space. As this still yet unintroduced Kaminoan begins escorting at least Dread and Huntail into the room. I'm not sure who else is immediately following. We will jump over to H4 real quick. Yeah, the clone that is standing next to you was the one with the big kind of mobile turret gun that now he's kind of collapsed down into this little case and has packed it up and closed it and everything. This one's got a just shaved head. He has various kind of tattoos kind of coming all around just one side of his head in various kind of geometric patterns, mostly symbol, kind of Republic era symbology, but none of them are the classic Republic symbol.
Are they in white armor, or am I just I'm just filling in that blank?
None of them are in
my own head.
That's where my head.
None of them are.
Okay.
No, they're wearing the outfits that that are worn underneath the armor. like
It's like,
I said, it's kind of like a jump. It's like a it's like a jumpsuit, but it's like a thinner material. It's not like a workman's jumpsuit that's like you'd see people working in a spaceport wearing. It's just.
Yeah, I was definitely picturing white armor, and then I was like, I don't think you ever said that, though.
No.
I think I'm just picturing what I'm picturing because of Star Wars.
Because they're clones. But no, they're not currently armored.
I think maybe we should follow them. By the way, my name is...
Whoa! Who's this little guy, right? Hey, we got another one!
You're freaking him out.
And he draws like, at this point he just draws his blaster pistol and he's just like holding it up on you.
Easy that trooper.
They don't.
Easy
They don't
trooper.
speak
And I
binary. You're making it worse.
Oh, God.
I am not
You see
speaking
he's kinda
binary.
like-
I am
he's kinda-
speaking common.
He starts kind of twitching a little bit, and you see like he starts just pouring sweat down his face as he's like starting to almost kind of shake, holding the blaster pointed at you.
The charge D-pad panels just make that little like uncharging sound, like I am not here to hurt you. I was just making sure you did not hurt my and his name is Drocox on you. I think he may be related to you in some fashion. He's the one with oh, I see, that is an unfortunate marking on his face. He has a dick on his face. That one.
Give me a persuasion check.
They drew cocks on him.
I am excellent at this.
Did it.
That's a 13.
That's
Okay.
13. Okay.
My negative modifier.
-1. I love it.
Why in the world would I have a positive?
He at least starts to lower his blaster and kind of puts it in, but you see he doesn't flip the strap to actually like buckle it down. He's keeping it loose in the holster. All right. Go catch up with your friends then.
I roll up my designation to him. They call me H4NK, or Hunk if you wish. What is your name?
H4NK, you say? All right. Call me Terse. Guess my designation's CT1010.
UT101. We are best friends now. We have been bonded in this moment of combat.
That's not true, but I guess we've met.
There is no box for gray area in my subroutine, so we are best friends or we are enemies.
This one's talking a lot. What should I do with him? Then you hear coming from the one that was holding Dread up initially. He's like, just bring me along with the rest of them. And he'll start kind of gesturing, like, all right, gonna start catching up with your friends. Recommend you hustle on.
I just roll along with him. So, what is your favorite color?
White. Just very confused as the rest of them all begin to kind of not collapse it. They begin to like kind of funnel in towards where you all are going. Is everybody going on up into the control room, or does anybody else have something else they were thinking of doing?
Alo will follow.
Control room.
All right.
Yeah.
Inside you go. Okay, just for the sake of, as it will inevitably come up to some degree, does anybody want to just basically plan on translating whatever R5 is trying to say, so that way okay, cool, so H4 will just translate, so we don't need to actually say it out loud. We can just assume that he says it.
I have proficiency in Galactic Basic, so I can speak Common.
When did that happen? You've been
Okay, that's the end. That is the end of the episode right there. No, that's the end of the episode. It's
Wait,
just Jack saying that and just smash cut to black.
What?
Wait. Hang on. I'm looking this up. I'm
not saying that when you do it in the new system that didn't just automatically come through. But you.
Oh, okay. No. Now I'm seeing it. Now, hang on. Wait, hang on. I have an answer.
You're dropping on me.
Answer.
I can understand.
Answer.
I can understand spoken and written Galactic Basic in one language of choice, but I cannot speak them. So that's where my okay.
I've made so many jokes about the fact that you don't speak Basic, and now, 9 months after the fact,
I can understand Basic. I can't speak it. So that's
okay. Cool.
I will
speak Basic.
I will translate slightly inaccurately.
That's
as we go.
I am already terrified.
But just for the sake
far
of
too much power.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it on
we'll
line by line basis. I'm just saying it's slightly off.
Yeah. Well, it's slightly off. The gist gets through, and generally the intended tone will get through. So everybody follows in. The Kaminoan will kind of be like looking at the size of this lift and saying, please just maybe wait for the second one. I think we should all fit in 2 or 3 goes, because it's meant for maybe 4 people on this short little lift going up. Progressively, you'll all kind of go up and down until you're all inside this room that has some seating. And Kaminoan will kind of walk over and just very gracefully sit down into this big sort of almost egg-shaped chair that's just hovering over on that side. I do believe that is much better. So, you came here seeking answers. Ask your questions.
Perhaps maybe we should ask your name.
Apologies. My name is Lynn Mafora.
Thank you, Lynn Mafora. Perhaps you and Hunter can converse at length. Just the 2 of you.
Perhaps we could. So, I believe that at least 16 over here. Sounds like you are now going by the name Huntail. I was not able to keep track of where you went after leaving our facility. And 18, what was your name that you are going by now again? Did I hear something about Drod Cox on you, or?
It's a mistranslation.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say you can call me Drod.
All right then, Drod. You sounded like you had questions at least. What did you want to know?
Yeah, I guess I should start with who, what, when, where, and why.
I believe you're going to have to narrow that down quite a bit.
Who made me? What did they make me? When did they make me? I mean, I guess I already sort of know where. Then, that leaves the real kicker. Why?
I will start with who. I was leader of the project, so I suppose I was most responsible, but I did have assistants who were more directly involved in the actual initial gestational process and the joining of all of the various biological components that result in an organic being. The what is, well, you at least were predominantly based off of an organic species. Genetically, you are exactly the same as any of them on the surface, as is Huntail here. The why was we had various things we were trying to determine prior to being contracted to breed an entire clone army. You were not born during that stage of the process. You were created far further in after we'd already begun the cloning. But it is not the same. A clone is a direct replica. We referred to you as strand casts. We would go and take some pieces of DNA, various genetic materials, and modify them to see how they could be improved or directed. And the answer, I believe, you were specifically... the pieces were first assembled maybe 7 years ago, and then you were incubated for another 2 years, and then usually as part of the actual birthing process, there are various memories implanted into your head, which would probably be what you remember as a childhood. We find it's easier for even the basic clones to have something of a memory of what they were before. It helps them more easily come to grips with reality. We also learned that it's far better to start as children and just give them an accelerated growth process. You were still in the last batch where we birthed you in an adult form.
Had parents.
Oh, I assure you, whoever you understood to be your parents are indeed real people. They just do not know of your existence. Far easier to base memories off of real things than it is to create them out of nothing.
Sorry, in all that, I lost track of the math. How old did you just say I was?
Well, if you consider your birth to be when you were extracted from the gestational pod, you would be 5 years old? Oh, sorry. I believe I lost a little bit of track time down here in this underwater place. You would actually be 6 years old. Genetic materials were first combined 8 years ago.
Good to know.
I'm sorry. I just have some questions as well.
Yes, Halo, I believe it was.
Yes. So you've been down here since the Was it a storm or some sort of accident? Oh no, it was a imperial bombardment, right? That sunk the town.
They initially intended to evacuate the city, but I had work that I had not completed and did not want to see it lost. So me and my loyal clone over here decided to take shelter within the city. It was a risk, but I would lose my life's work. It would not be worth anything if I were to just leave it all behind. And the Empire was certainly not going to let me keep it.
Do you have a way of getting back up?
Not at the moment.
Are you still continuing your cloning of this nature? Are you making more draw corks on you? Or,
Each of the various ones from that program are unique, so I would not say that there was another Drod created. However, the program did have to cease after the war started, and ever since I have not been able to get proper resources to resume my research.
They were meant for combat, or just sort of whatever they...
The first ones were. Later on, they were given different directives.
Our friends here, what were they initially intended to do?
Drod was the later in the series when we were looking for more of those who could work on things and fix things rather than destroy them. 16 over here was meant to repair more organic beings, I suppose. Keep them from death.
Like medic? With,
it was one of the possibilities that they could have pursued.
What was the other possibility?
Any other way of interpreting the base instructions that were given. We did not want to completely program, because at that point you could just make a droid. We wanted to see how directives could affect beings with actual thought.
Who's the one who were giving these orders?
I suppose initially it was somewhat from me. I was commissioned to work on the project, of course, but...
Well, who?
There were various benefactors at different times, but more recently there were some senators and the like coming from the Republic. I presume many of them have passed on.
Are we the first visitors since this place sank?
The first ones I've spoken to, at least, yes.
You've seen others?
It was a group of heavily armored people who came through, storming through and knocking things about. Decided it was best to let them pass.
Think that was a wise decision as well?
What kind of armor?
It was black armor. Military grade. Looked vaguely like the armor that we had previously provided to our clone troopers during the war, but seems to have been modified, improved. Their body shapes were clearly not clones, I could say that much, but they did bear some imperial design in their look.
Where did they go?
They went off that way and off that way. She gestures to this door and this door. They split up. One seemed to be more of a leader of the others. Usually the one wearing the cape is the one who's the leader, I suppose.
Did you get a good look at his face?
Unfortunately, they were all wearing helmets. I was not able to recognize any faces. It seems much of the galaxy has taken interest in Kamino once again.
There's a lot of pressure at the bottom of the sea.
That feeling will come and go in waves, if you'll pardon the joke.
Alo visibly laughs at that.
Do you know the name Renz?
I did speak with him a couple of times, now that I think about it. Didn't seem to care for the clones too much to begin with, but viewed them as a necessary evil from his perspective.
No. We're not their property anymore. I'll need a minute. Anteo, go ahead and you can ask her whatever you want, I guess.
Yes, of course.
Right out. It's sad.
Alright, I'll be sure to fill you in on anything else that comes up.
I would follow Dread if possible.
Yeah? I mean, unless if Dread's... Well, I guess Dread would have to just tell you, hey, stop following me, but...
He's not focusing on reality enough at the moment to pay attention to that.
Perfect. Love it.
You notice that the one clone that was called Marsh earlier looks over at one that just kind of has like the side shape, and he's got like kind of a jarhead haircut going. Just like, oi, 92. Keep an eye on him. 92 will just kind of give him nods like, yes, sir. And we'll just kind of follow you along to the elevator and go and push the button for you to take you down. I'm sure you understand. Basic security protocol and all that. Don't worry about Marsh. More bark than bite. Damn good commander, though.
Is Huntel staying?
sorry?
Is Huntel staying here?
Yeah.
She is. Okay. Okay.
All right then. So I believe that there's quite a lot that needs to be learned here. But you said you still have research that you were protecting. Why, yes, there is indeed research that was kept in a secure server location. Can we see it, please? It's like, well, normally I would not allow just any person to view it, but I suppose that out of everyone, you and Drod there would be most entitled to have access to the information of their creation and things of that nature. I believe that you could still find it. There are 2 access points in different sectors which will need to be activated, and then you will be able to access it from, in particular, the sector. And she'll point off towards this particular door over here on the east side. That would be the one that you would want to follow. The second access point is in there as well, but you would need to activate the first one before that one will even be useful.
And which way were the other visitors headed? The ones with the capes and helmets?
You do, at that point, Marsh actually... they were... Well, some of them were going off towards, in particular, kind of the lab zone, where they do a lot of various testing and things like that before the city sunk. And there was also... Yeah, the smaller group went off towards, at least what we considered weapons development.
Weapons development?
Yeah, more bigger stuff though. Not really all the little things.
We talking like, wait, I'm sorry.
Well, the Republic usually outsourced a lot of their actual weapon design and all that, but we had a few things here that we were cooking up.
You're not afraid of those falling into the wrong hands?
Lynn here's great. She's not much of a fighter, though. I don't think that there's much that the 4 of us could have done to take on a whole squad of, well, they certainly at least looked as well kitted out as our commandos did, so I prefer they don't have it, but not a whole lot we could have done.
Right.
And we know what the order was if they ever found us, so just kept our heads low. Survival's the name of the game at this point.
I look at Lynn and say, do you know anything about the weapons you were working on? Yeah?
I do believe that they were interested in finding some alternate energy sources when they were developing over there. I mostly focused on various advanced experimental cloning procedures during my work.
Got it, thank you.
I imagine a blaster of some variety, perhaps something far bigger than what you could carry. I'm sure there's more information there, it's just never been a field of interest of mine.
Once we find what we're looking for, are you interested in getting back up to the surface, or do you want to stay down here?
I suppose that depends on where you would be taking me.
I don't want to make any promises without our captain here. Actually, Harry is here, right? But
let's say Harry's taking a nap over in the corner.
But he isn't. Okay. I don't want to make any promises without the rest of my crew here, so...
It's usually poorly advised to wake a sleeping bear.
Right, yes.
It's hibernating, in which case it's a great idea.
I suppose if you are taking my research off the planet, then I would like to go along with it. Where do you intend to go after you find this information?
That's actually a really good question. You know, we're sort of we're sort of like that group that likes to stay in the present and not look too far ahead, which...
We were not told nearly anything about that kind of information, so...
Let's get to our submarine first, and then we'll plan the next step after that. Uh-oh. Is everything all right?
It is a strange way to try to encourage trust in somebody, to say, well, we'll wait until we bring you to our submarine to tell you where we're going.
Yes, unfortunately...
Huntail, if you want to break the silence.
Well, your translator R5 actually has left the room, so at this point it's just beeps and whoops.
Both of the members of the party that could translate for you, in fact.
Nah, just kidding.
It's 9.
I suppose that I've spent so much time looking for even just the information here. I was hoping to have some time to review the research before deciding on a next course of action. Hold on a moment. And she'll turn around and kind of go over to like a console and start scrolling through like a bunch of old communications and things.
Brett will wander back in around that time.
Yeah, you wander back in. As I said, Lynn's over at just at kind of a access station right now.
During that time, I would have tried to talk to Dread.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you two can. No, yeah, you two can talk before you come up.
RP.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
RP.
I did actually think about it. I wanted to turn to the trooper and be like, "Oh, what's your name?"
Oh, my name? My name's 92.
Really? They didn't even give you a name.
Would have been happy with the full designation, but it seemed like everybody else wanted to keep it a little shorter.
I'm going to call you Dooley.
Sorry, do you want to call me Duty?
No. I'm going to call you Dooley.
All right, you can do that. I'm not going to respond to it, but you can.
So it would stick right away, but
not there.
it did not. So I give up. I give up. I give up immediately. I do not care what you call yourself. I wanted to give you a name better than 92.
Look, here's the deal. My brothers have called me 92 my whole life. Not going to change it now. All right?
Yes, fair.
Guess you call me whatever you like. I'll probably just ignore it if I don't like it.
No,
Yeah, whatever you
Works
like.
for me. Can you understand what I'm even saying in the first place?
You're still
not
upstairs,
there.
so nobody's there to answer that question.
Get out of the scene, peanut butter.
But yes, back to what Dredd was saying.
You know how old you are?
Maybe a couple of years old.
And it doesn't
Got
bother
an
you.
accelerated lifespan and all that. What's the point in fretting over that, which you can't change?
I know, just they took half my life. Got the memories, but it wasn't real.
Suppose that would be troubling. However, all the memories I got are a lot of fighting in war. At this point, I also kind of just miss it. Having proper purpose.
The good news, if you accept a silver lining, your parents are not dead because they did not exist.
Yeah, they also don't know I exist.
You can go find them. You can introduce yourself. A new purpose. Hey, look at the new purpose. New purpose, good.
Oh my god.
Not to be honest, if you were a normal person and you saw me walk up and say, "Hi, I'm your son," never seen me before, well, how would you react?
Well, by normal person, I assume you mean not who I am currently, because at the moment I know it's not possible. But if I were just a regular old bloke wandering around the galaxy, probably wouldn't trust you.
Can I interject? You are but a child that has never left Kamino. We do not know that his parents would react that way.
Who said I never left Kamino?
Minded.
On the wall. Seen a lot of the galaxy.
Oh
Probably
no,
watched
it's
you
a
out.
logic loop. Hang on, and he just turns them off and on again.
Oh my god.
All the springs expand and then contract like quickly.
Okay, everybody watch your ankles.
Oh god.
My apologies, I assumed
know
based
how
on
any of them behave.
the information that we have.
Suppose if you're talking to whichever one actually did the birthing, I would think that they'd know pretty well if you actually gave birth to something. Talking to the father, then, depends on the father. Might think it's possible, might think it's not. Depends on what you know to be true. With all that plating you got on you, all those cybernetic parts, be hard to prove at least.
You do not need to say, child, parent. You just introduce yourself and get to know them as real people, because you don't know them as real people right now. You might as well get to know them.
Don't know what to do with myself.
That's stupid. You know exactly what to do with yourself. You're not a imbecile. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly where you're trying to go. Stop questioning your motives. You're not a different person. You just got different information about where you came from. You're the same person. You're still throw cocks on you.
There it is.
I was holding it together, and then he did his little misinterpretation of my own stupid joke.
He's said it more than enough times for...
He's just saying what we're all thinking.
I mean, I've been programmed a certain way by the other character that programmed me a certain way that I chose to.
Page 4.
We?
What else did Umbrin say about me?
He said you're a surprisingly good man. That he has known for many years that you would never do a thing unpredictable to you, and that you would always try and do what's best for your ship. And, if possible, what is best for your crew. Whatever is best for your financial gain. However, he did say that, well, the reason I'm not here, he said emotionally you are a bit fragile, and that I should keep an eye on that, and if you were to go off the deep end, the ship would be in danger, the crew would be in danger, and I should emotionally check on you from time to time.
Big rotten lat on, show him emotionally unstable, and he just starts going back towards the crew.
Okay.
He did start.
So at that point, yeah, you both get onto the lift. 92 follows you up, and you both raise up. As I said before, Lynn's still sitting at the console. Everybody else is kind of just around the room at this point, with kind of this weird little pause in the conversation. Well, Granny, you got quite the passive. Granny, if you could give me a perception check, please.
Okie dokie.
Why stop dragging that around?
I just accidentally clicked on it and realized I could move it, and I was like, I clicked in the darkness and was rewarded.
Well, apparently I need to start hiding things around everywhere. Just so you know, Jackie, you're muted before you say anything.
I just had no idea that.
Just for Easter eggs.
I had no idea what I clicked on, and I wanted to see it, so I.
Yeah, the fate point token. Yeah.
I got a 25 on my perception check.
As had been mentioned before, when Terse first was surprised by H4, he started getting kind of twitchy and started sweating pretty profusely. You notice kind of this like twitchy energy beginning to come off of him over in the corner. Everybody else, after a little bit, starts to hear this kind of like groaning sound coming out of him. And Marsh runs over to him and is like, all right, just come on, keep your head on. And the Terse goes and just full on just this giant backhand like arm swing knocks Marsh off over into the wall. And you see his jaw just begin to kind of slacken as he just like looks around frantically. And there you have another thrilling session of Starships and Scoundrels. Remember to subscribe and tune back in next week to see what else may happen to the crew of the Mayday. If you don't want to wait quite that long, go ahead and check out the channel because we have tons of other videos about RPGs, board games, video games, movies, pretty much everything nerdy under the sun. Thanks as always for watching, and may the Force be with you.
Do any of us have any spare glow rods? Because I know that I don't.
I got one, and Drod just unstraps his pant now.
Gross.